The Oklahoma City Thunder is targeting free agent forward Mike Miller. With News OK, I'm Dave Morris. We're joined shortly by Darnell Mayberry to explain the latest rumblings with the Thunder. But Miller, 33, has played with Miami for the past 3 seasons. The Heat waived him on Tuesday using the league's amnesty provision. After clearing waivers Thursday afternoon, Miller became an unrestricted free agent, and multiple reports say that Miller is interested only in joining a championship contender. Of course, that brings the Thunder into the picture. Darnell Mayberry will bring you into the picture right now. What's the latest with the Thunder and Mike Miller?
The Thunder general manager Sam Presti is scheduled to fly to Miami to meet with Mike Miller, and I would imagine a contract offer will be given to Mike Miller. It'll probably be a 1-year deal because Mike Miller is aging and is basically a shooting specialist at this point. They don't need him for multiple years. They just need him for 1 year to help the Thunder contend for a title this season. So I expect an offer will be made to Mike Miller soon, and at that point the ball will be in his court whether or not he wants to accept and come to Oklahoma City or maybe go to a different team.
Hey Darnell, 2 questions. First of all, payroll issues, and what does the Thunder have to consider with Mike Miller?
Well, because the Thunder has a $70 million payroll, they're less than $2 million from the tax threshold of $71.75 million. And they do not want to exceed that tax number because it'll trigger a $1.50 payment for every dollar that they go over. So they're trying to avoid that this season with the goal of or with the knowledge or understanding that they will be in the tax in the next couple of seasons. So they can only offer Mike Miller a minimum contract, and the way the league sets it up, they can get reimbursed probably about $500,000 or so, $515,000, if they give him a 1-year deal at the veterans minimum, which is about $1.4 million. So some of that money that they would be giving Mike Miller would be coming off their books, and it would not factor into their tax computation. So they would be getting a little savings if they signed a veteran of Mike Miller's stature to a 1-year deal.
And you mentioned that Mike Miller at this point is pretty much a stand-up shooter given his back issues. How does his style of play fit with the Thunder's roster and Coach Brooks' style?
Well, I think the one thing that everyone could agree with is that this team needs more shooters. Perimeter shooting is something that can really take some pressure off Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Mike Miller is one of the best in the league. He's a career 40.6% three-point shooter. He made 41.7% of his three-pointers last year with Miami. You can kind of see when you have a dynamic player like a LeBron James, like a Kevin Durant or a Russell Westbrook, who commands so much attention, that leaves Mike Miller basically on an island. And if he can just get his feet set and get some space to shoot it, chances are he's going to knock it down. So that'll just free up so much for Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. He can space the floor and give this team another dimension. So it'd be a good pickup, low risk, high reward type of move, typical Sam Presti, and we'll see. Again, the ball is in Mike Miller's court at this point. It's going to be up to him whether or not he wants to join the Oklahoma City Thunder.
One last question for you, Darnell. Let's talk about Kevin Durant. The NBA Board of Governors on Thursday voted to reimburse the Thunder for a portion of the contract extension it signed Kevin Durant to in 2010. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, basically what happened was Kevin Durant signed his contract extension in July of 2010, and the league in the new CBA that was ratified in 2011, December 2011, they wrote a rule into the new labor agreement that said players who outperform their rookie contracts are eligible for an additional 5% of the team's salary. Of a team's salary cap, I should say. And so it was widely labeled the Derrick Rose rule, even though Kevin Durant was the first player who received this 5% bump. He went from 25% of the salary cap to 30% of the salary cap, and that's an additional almost $15 million over the life of a 5-year deal. So the Thunder protested back in 2011 to no avail, and the league Board of Governors voted yesterday to reimburse the Thunder a portion of that. It's not close to $15 million. We don't know the exact number, but the biggest thing is it does not impact the Thunder's salary cap state or its tax implications. So They're not saving any money in terms of what they're spending. They're just getting a little bit more pocket change back, the ownership that is. And it's unfortunate that they can't retroactively do anything because it put the Thunder in a world of trouble. The Thunder's salary, they went over the salary cap when Kevin Durant got that bump. And now, as a result, we're seeing all kinds of ramifications. They had to trade James Harden in part because of this. They have to be quiet in free agency. As I mentioned, Mike Miller, they can only sign him to a minimum deal, and now they're competing with other teams. So all kinds of ramifications have really been set off as a result of Kevin Durant receiving that 5% bump. But the league, they only gave the Thunder a little bit of money back, and it does not, unfortunately, it does not impact their salary cap state.
Interesting stuff. That sharp-dressed man, ladies and gentlemen, is Darnell Mayberry. Darnell, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
No problem.
And great information. You can follow more Thunder Rumblings online at newsok.com and, of course, in the newspaper in Oklahoma.